All right, guys, Zaxter99 back with another video. This time, another video on Sick, the game I played and got trapped in a house for like 15-20 minutes. The first time I played it and could not find a way out. So I spent $10 on this game and immediately, within like 5 minutes, got trapped when the door closed on me, the front door closed on me, with no way out of the house. I mean, I spent 15-20 minutes running around in circles, clicking on everything possible, and finding no way out of the house. So, of course, I left a negative review because this developer simply hasn't spent enough time and put enough effort into making this game before launching it. Notice this game is not in early access as well, right? So this developer now has mixed reviews. Only 40% of the 10 reviews that are people that actually purchased this game have given him a positive review. Now, it's not like I just played this game for 5 minutes or something like that. No, I spent $10 on it. I put time into it, and I experienced nothing but frustration. And of course, I'm not going to recommend a game like that to you guys, my viewers who watch my videos. I'm definitely not going to recommend such a game in the current state to anybody looking at purchasing this game. But guys, what kind of response did we get from the developer? This is a big test. I was telling a friend earlier this morning as I was writing the negative review, hey, this will be a good test in how the developer handles the criticism that I've left. You know, is he going to handle it well and say, hey, man, I'm sorry for your experience. I'll make the game better. Or here's the solution on how to get out of the house. You know, is that how he's going to respond? Is he going to respond professionally and do what he can to make the game better? Or is he going to lash out at me as a critic? So many of these indie developers have done the latter and lashed out. And so what would this developer do? Well, if we go ahead and we look at my negative review I left, well, yesterday morning, actually, right? We look at recent reviews, we see my review, which says, hey, this game should have been called Frustration instead of being called Sick, because it's exactly the experience I had after playing it for about 20 minutes. I'll link to my video. And I said it's also heavily reliant on Unreal Marketplace assets and jump scares, which if the developer had watched the video, he would have seen that I did say I understand why a new developer would use assets. It makes sense. I mean, they're good assets, they're pretty, and it makes sense that he wouldn't have time to develop all the assets himself. But I said that an indie developer can, I even said in the video, a developer can use assets like this and make a great game. Much as RC1 Entertainment did, a developer who made Sicko Island out of the exact same island assets a year ago. A game that I initially gave a negative review because I said the combat wasn't fun, and that developer responded professionally and said he would make his game better. And within days or a week at the most, he turned his game completely around and got me to re-review his game. But he responded professionally. Sicko Island is a game I definitely recommend. And by the way, it's only $5.99, about half the price of this game. So how did Michael Derrick, a new indie developer, respond? Well, we've seen this before, guys. I've seen this many times before. The jealousy card, right? Oh, I don't like to argue on the internet or speak negatively about anyone, but this guy is either very jealous of the projects that are better developed than he is, like I'm a project, really? Or he just likes to say negative things about everything. No, I say negative things about indie projects and indie games or asset flips or games that are negative. I tell the truth. I'm not going to play your game, get stuck in a fucking house for 20 minutes, spend $10 on being frustrated, and then write you a positive review. Right? Who would do that? Who would write you a positive review, Mr. Michael Derrick? He goes on to say, in a post when I released the game, I reported its main problems and said that soon I will finish the game and develop it. My question to you is, why did you not finish the game and develop it fully before charging people $10 for it? And yes, this dude is also a developer, and you can look at what he's done. I don't think any extra words are needed. Yes, let's go ahead and put that in context. As a new developer, I had a game and a dream to make a 2D game like Asteroids, my, childhood favorite game, a 2D game. And I firmly believe that my indie game Rock and Roll is better than Asteroids ever was. It has more content to it. It has more challenge to it. It has bosses. Asteroids never had bosses. It has a hard rock mode. My game has different, bosses that you fight against. It has a goal of actually protecting the Earth, which Asteroids never had. I made a game and I made it a good game. It's a game that I love to play. I have over 350 hours in my own game, Rock and Roll. My question to you is, do you think you're ever going to play your own game over 300 hours, Mr. Michael Derrick? First and foremost, you want to make a game that is bug free and works well. Second of all, you want to play a game that you yourself enjoy playing, not a game that's going to trap people in a house and have them going around in circles because you obviously don't care enough about your game or your project to fix it. Instead, you would rather lash out at anybody who has criticism for your game. That's not signs of a good developer, and it gives me no hope for you. So I was going to keep this game, Mr. Michael Derrick, and allow you to have my $10 or the $7 you would have after Steam takes their fee. But instead, no, I think I'm going to refund your game. Anybody can go out and buy great looking 3D assets and then make your character be able to move around and not give a fuck about bugs here and there. For example, when I walk up to the boat that is part of the island asset kit, you haven't even made that boat solid. It's a drop down fucking setting. You release a game and you have big objects that you can just walk right through. You have a crouch button where you actually sink down into the ground. I went back and played the game earlier today after I read some feedback from RC1, the actual developer of Sicko Island, who said that part of the problem with the house that I got trapped in is that I might be able to crawl out a window. I went and tried that. I tried to crawl out every window I could find, crouching, jumping, everything. And no, I could not get out of the house again. So I spent another 15 minutes stuck in the house just because I knew RC1 had experience with this particular asset kit. But what's sad to me, Mr. Developer, is that RC1, who used the same asset pack a year ago and made a great game with Sicko Island, this guy obviously acts more professional, responds more professional, and knows more about what might fix your asset crap game than you do. Because you haven't said how to resolve the problem. You haven't promised to fix the bug or to make the game better. All you've done is lash out at me and say that I'm jealous, etc., etc. I've seen this card 100 times. Your response here is about as unprofessional as you can get here in a posted review on Steam. My video here is just a lashback at you for lashing out at me and calling you out for being about as unprofessional as you can possibly get. Imagine having a negative review here saying exactly what the problems are with the game and saying that it is asset reliant, which it is, and then coming back and responding on Steam on a public forum that millions of people can see and showing your unprofessional, indie developer response by lashing out with personal attacks because your game is fucking shit and you didn't do enough to take care of launching a game in a very good playable state. I understand you're a new developer. I'm proud of you for going out and trying to create a game on Steam, right? I am proud of you. I know that takes a lot. I know it takes money. It takes money to buy the assets. It takes money to pay the $100 Steam fee. And a lot of people don't even get as far as you do. But right now, you are showing that you care more about responding in an unprofessional manner than you do about fixing your game and making it better. Instead, you want to attack my 2D games. I bet you anything right now that I have spent more time and put more effort in every one of my 9 2D games than you've put into sick here. And that's about enough to make me sick. So again, I just calling you out for your unprofessional response here, bud. And this is my YouTube channel, so I can be as unprofessional as I want here. But the fact is I'm just being honest. And I'm retaliating against your unprofessionalism, here on Steam. Why don't you fix your game, bud? Fix your game, make it better. Why don't you respond with an apology? Understand that players are not going to like spending $10 on your game and then going and getting stuck in your asset for 20 minutes with no way out. You should feel sorry about that. You should be ashamed that somebody bought your game and then got stuck in a house asset for 20 minutes. That would make me ashamed if I read something like that about one of my games. And I would apologize. But again, no apology is here like you would do if you were a professional developer, right? Or if you even had a professional mindset, if you were mature. This right here looks like it was written by a 16-year-old kid. I don't like to argue with anybody on the internet, but this guy is obviously very jealous of this project. No, I am not very jealous of this project just because you can go out and buy an asset kit. I could also launch the same asset kit with full of bugs. That doesn't prove anything. And I'm certainly not apologetic on your unprofessional response and your 14-year-old mentality, bud. So again, my advice to you is go fix your game, make it better. Like RC1, if you want to take a good look at what happened, let's go ahead and take a look, guys, at this. Let's go ahead and look at, again, I bought your game just because it had the same name or a similar name to Sicko Island, which I had the same experience with a year ago. This game came out, yeah, just a little over a year ago. Let's go ahead and look at my review, shall we? So if we see my review, I left the original negative review. It made a miss video. Maggot infested stinky shit. I said this game is not fun at all. I said the combat is ugly, awkward, and tedious, right? But this developer did not lash back out at me in a response like you did. I gave his game a 2.5 out of 10 and said not recommended. Instead, this developer responded in comments on my first miss video, promising he apologized and promised that he would make his game better, which he did. He didn't lash out at me, and instead he became a friend of mine, right? He became my friend. He apologized profusely for my bad experience the first thing and made his game better really, really quickly. Big difference between RC1 Entertainment and you, right? So this is something that all indie developers should learn from. Learn how to make your game better. That way, maybe I'll re-review your game. But at this point, with your response on this game, I'm simply going to refund your game and never play it again. I care nothing about supporting you at this point. So now, again, I would have kept the game and I would have, supported you and helped you make the game better, giving you my suggestions, much like I did with RC1 Entertainment and Sicko Island. But no, not with a response like you've given me here. So that's fine. You don't need my $10. You don't need my support. That's fine with me, man. That is completely fine with me. I should have went ahead and put in a comment as to why I'm refunding the game. It's mainly because of your unprofessional attitude, not because you have bugs in your game. But no, I will never buy your game again because of your response. If you send me a key, I will simply reject it. I care nothing about anything you make in the future, Mr. Michael Derrick, but I do wish you all the best in the world. But I simply there's too many good games on Steam and too many professional developers who actually care about their projects more than they care about lashing out to any criticism. So I care nothing about what you do at this point or any time in the future, but I do wish you all the luck in the world. And again, I have refrained for the most part from, attacking you personally. But yeah, your negative review is going to stay because I'm never going to re-review your game with a response like that. I do wish you all the luck in the world. And people out there, this is exactly how you don't respond to criticism on Steam if you want to thrive or be successful on Steam. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. This has been Zaxter99. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.